Hey, welcome back to Fixing Things. Today, I'm on my 14 kW Generac whole house generator, and I'm going to show you how I service it. There's quite a few videos out there on servicing these generators, and the thing is, if you have someone that comes out and gets it, because looking up the parts for them sometimes may not be as easy as you think, but actually the parts are actually readily available. You don't even have to buy them from Generac. You can get them on eBay. You can get them at your local store, because even though they say Generac on the part, there is equivalent air filters or interchange air filters and oil filters and stuff like that. Last time I bought an oil filter for this thing from Generac, it was like $24 for an oil filter. $24. I went to O'Reilly's and got me a Wix for $7. So, also got the oil. I also make an upgrade. They say to put 10W30 in it, full synthetic. I'm going to go to a 10W40 high mileage oil. So this generator right now we're in a climate zone where you can run a little bit thicker oil. If you were in a really cold environment, then you would probably want to keep running your thinner oil, because the oil turns really thick at real cold temperatures. So I'm doing a 10W40 motor oil, high mileage, has a lot of extra minerals in it. I'm bad. I'm not. I thought I did a service on it last year. This is going to be a 2-year service, and I'm going to tell you what happened. Last Wednesday night is the night that it does its service. I heard a bang, bang, like explosions. And what's that? And I went to the window and up there and was looking out back, and I seen like a ball of smoke fire flash out this way, and I seen the flash come up against the fuel tank right here. I'm thinking, what's going on? What's going on with my generator? Well, I mean, it was late at night after 12 o'clock, because that's when the generator does its weekly startup. So I came out here and I said, I'm going to just check everything else, see what's going. I turned it in the off position, and it was flashing me a code, overrun, it's not starting, and also that it needed an oil change. Now I know the oil change doesn't stop it from running, right? But if the oil is low, so I came out here and I lifted up the stick, and it did not even have a drop of oil on the stick. Man. So I went out there to see if I had any extra oil for it, and only thing I had was diesel oil, and I put some 1540 in it, and I topped it off, and it started right up then. And I said, oh, thank you, Lord, I didn't burn up my generator. So I went back on my videos on my last service, and it was 2 years ago. But why didn't it have any oil in it? Why didn't my generator have any oil in it? It's not just because it's been 2 years, but the engine is getting older now, and it's using up some of that oil. Now, most engines will use some oil up, and usually you won't do enough between the scheduled services. It should have still had oil on the stick. So we're going to upgrade the oil to a little bit heavier oil, just because everything is starting to get a little wore on this motor. And I can't have my generator going out. So your generator is considered life safety service. So it needs to run when everything else is not running. You need to make sure this thing goes. So today we're going to show you how to service your generator. So we're not going to need too much. I got 2 oils. I got a Generac air filter that I bought the last time, didn't use. And I got my Wix oil filter. We have a small oil filter wrench and a pair of Klein's pliers and something to dump the oil into. And that's all we're going to need to do this. Alright, so all you do to get into your generator, some of them have locks. I don't lock mine up. I live out in the wilderness here and no one's coming around my house. Lift up the side, lift the top up, and then you just put your hands right here and you lift this top off. Now you have complete access to your generator. The next thing you want to do is turn your engine to the off position, and just in case, God forbid, the power goes out and you're working on your generator and it tries to start while you're working on it. Might not be a good idea. Also, you're going to need some rags because you may get some spillage on your thing and you want to keep this area nice and clean. First thing I want to do is I'm going to go ahead and change this air filter out with an OEM air filter. And you see this thing it's a fairly substantial size air filter. So these things don't come all the way out. They just kind of come up, and where they get to the sliding, well, that it does come all the way out. They come all the way out. You don't need to take them all the way out though. And we'll look at that. Look, the other air filter still looks almost brand new. But it's been 2 years, so we're going to put the new one in. It's got some little tabs on here that you push it over. Air filter's done. That was easy, right? I need a lay it down device. I don't know where that came from, but we use it. All right, next thing we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and take off the oil filter. We're going to take a little rag and put up underneath it. And hopefully you can get it off with your hand. Pretty tight. Good thing I brought a oil filter wrench. And like I said before, it takes a small oil filter wrench. And you don't want to put it up on top here. You want to keep it down here where the square throbbing thingies are. There we go. Man, it's got some long threads on it. You can tell the oil is dirty. Sop up the excess oil. And we'll get our brand new Wix oil filter. Use a little oil on the I'll put a little bit, not overfilling it. Down inside your oil filter. And a lot of you may be wondering how tight you should do this. I just do mine hand tight. That's it right there. Also, you want to make note, make sure your old oil ring is on your filter and it's not stuck to the engine. That happens from time to time. Nice and clean. Keep everything nice and clean. Get the oil off your wires. So right here on the side is your oil drain tube. And it's simply taking off this little orange thing, and that's all there is to it. Then loosening up your oil filter, and that will allow it to drain. It's got a small hole, so it takes a while. Now you take a break. And come back. Don't fall in there. Take a break and come back when the oil's done draining. Like I said, it's got a small hole, so it takes a while for that oil to drain. Alright, so you see it's got a small hole and it doesn't drain very fast. And it just comes out the bottom of the block just like a regular little lawnmower engine or tractor engine. And that's where you put your oil back in. So it takes a while. So I think I'm just going to go inside and make me a peanut butter and jelly sandwich. And we'll come out and grab me a soda. It's raining, so I'm not going to sit out here and just wait for it. We'll let it do its thing. Come back out in about 15-20 minutes. All right, it's been close to about 20 minutes to a half hour. I know on a lot of videos they just show you changing the oil, but it actually takes a while to get that oil through the system. And you can see the oil is fairly dark. And so we had actually put some fresh oil in it, ran it before when that night it didn't want to start. And I did that because I wanted this stuff to flush out before we actually changed the oil. Because if you let the motor, if the oil runs down, all the particulates and everything is still in the motor. And it could be bad. So we don't want it to be bad. All right, so now the oil is all the way drained. We're going to put the oil cap pluggy thingy on there. It doesn't need to be torqued on there. It's got a rubber O-ring on it. You just put that rubber O-ring on it and put it back up into its little holder doodatter. And just like that. Now we can put the 2 quarts of oil back in it. We already put some oil in. In the filter. And these things take just about 2 quarts. I see all kinds of guys struggling with funnels and stuff like that. If you take this side off, you can easily get the quart in the side. That's not that hard. And I see guys struggling all the time. That's not saying I might not spill some, but I'm trying not to. Okay, that's 1 quart. Now I know they say 1.7. 1.7 is, I think, is 2 quarts. That 0.7 is not going to make a difference. Or 2.7 or 1 point, I don't know, something like that. 1.7 is almost 2 quarts. All right, 2 quarts are in the motor. So you see there's an over crank. This is from last time. I haven't reset the codes yet. Let's go ahead and put our let's go ahead and test the motor. So you notice it's got a red and yellow thingy on there. Let's go ahead and manual start it. And just go over to manual. And nothing. And why is it doing nothing? Still having some issues with it. Go ahead and let's check the spark plugs. All right, the spark plug don't look too bad. We'll just give it a quick cleaning up. That shouldn't have been the reason for it not to start. I would say if it was running on gasoline, it might be an issue. But since it's running on propane, we may have a low battery and it's not cranking fast enough. So if the motor is not spinning over fast enough, it doesn't get it the right cranking speed to start. tightening. That's if I get the socket all the way on there. All right, let's check the other one. And this one's kind of hard to reach because it's behind the motor. Now you would think they would make these motors with quiet technology, but they don't. These things are like really loud. Why is that so hard to get off? Must have had carbon on the inside of the threads or something. These plugs have never been out of this motor. It's never had a service. Well, it's had oil changes. Stiff again. Right. It was stiff coming all the way up. You can see the gases were leaking out this plug. I don't know if someone cross-threaded this thing or not. But you can see I'll clean this thing up. Threads and all. Probably take a little bit of the oil. But the plug actually looks pretty good. Champion. A little bit of little looby dooby on the threads before I put it back in there. I don't think it was the spark plugs. It may have been that this plug was never tightened down to begin with. Let's hope they didn't cross thread it. Okay, it's definitely threaded. All right, let's try starting this again. And we may have a bad battery. All right, let's test it one more time. Okay, maybe it was the spark plugs. it's starting now. All right, so definitely, I think that other spark plug on the far side was not tightened, and probably was like that for a long time because that discoloration on that one side of the spark plug. The inside of the unit is clean. It's not like contamination was getting down in there. The air filter was clean. The engine oil was definitely dirty. So it did need a yearly service. Some people say these are supposed to have a 2-year service. I don't think so. It's supposed to be 1 year, an annually service. I installed this unit back in 2017, and we moved into this house 3 years ago, and it's now 2024, and it never had a service until I did it 2 years ago. And like I said, it ran out of oil. So we're putting thicker oil in it now. One of the things I want to show you is how to reset your generator's little computer. And because what happens is if it's not reset, sometimes it won't start. So on your generator, there's a light. So like I said, I put this in back in 2017. We bought this thing from Southern States. It was serviced by Paul. And right now it has a red light on it. It's because it's not in auto mode. So when you put it back on auto mode, it has the green light. It has the green light because we already switched all the little computer settings. So I want to show you how to reset your computer after you do your service, because it's going to prompt you to do all these things. Okay? So what you do is you put it in the off position. Your red light should be on. And you go to enter. And it'll tell you all the codes that was up. Right now, it's just in the off position. That's all. And switch to off. But all you would do is keep pressing enter until you said, okay, I changed the oil, I changed the air filter, I cleaned the spark plugs, and I did all that stuff, and you keep pressing the enter to get rid of it. Pretty soon you'll come back to this, it's switched to off, ready to run. To test your motor to see if it is going to run, just go to manual start, hold. Red light's on. Ready to run. There you go, green light. So I think I'm going to go ahead and replace this battery anyways. This battery's been in this thing for since 2017. It auto runs for an hour every Wednesday. That help keeps the battery charged and everything else. I don't think this one has a battery charger in it, but since 2017 to 2024, I think we got our life out of that battery. So I'm going to go ahead and order another battery for it, and we'll take this battery, put it on my system that's inside there, and sometimes they will, that Nexus type battery charger thing will actually revamp a battery. All right, all we got to do is put this thing back together. Hopefully she'll start back up. This is Tuesday, tomorrow night at 12 o'clock. But anyways, that's how I service the generator. Also, you seen me, we checked the spark plugs, we did some stuff. We seen there was a fault code on an overrun. 9 times out of 10, overrun is usually charged as because the battery is not cranking fast enough. You would think that cranking it, and it didn't start, it wouldn't have started the next time around. It did prompt me to check the spark plugs. So we checked the spark plugs, we cleaned the spark plugs, and when we put it back together, it fired right up. So, but I'm gonna put a brand new battery in it now. But as of now, it's good for another year. This time, hopefully I won't forget. I think we got it. I think we got it. Hey, if you like these videos, like them, subscribe. But I think we got it. If it ain't, I'll give you an update on it. But we are going to order that battery. It's getting ready to pour. I got some black clouds coming in. We got a lot of rain here lately. But we had God blessed us with a good day. But you know, all those people down there in North Carolina, South Carolina, Kentucky, Tennessee, man, they got hit hard. And it just seemed like we were protected here in Virginia. And we had a beautiful day for the car show. You can go back and see my video where the Mihal truck was there on its longest maiden voyage. I did have a lot of videos where I just drove it to work, which is only about 1.5 miles, 2 miles away. But pray for those people down there, because they got hit hard, and they're saying there's another storm on the way. And that's another good reason to have a whole house generator, because when the power goes out, they're saying millions of people are without power down there in Florida and Alabama, all the way up to Kentucky. Man, that's just in Florida was 1.5 million people. It flooded, the whole town's like washed away. God bless each and every one of you. Pray for them people. Listen, God bless each and every one of you. I will see you on the next Fixing Things with Pastor. What are we gonna do? Man, the Mihal truck, we got some stuff on. We got to do some tune-up stuff on the Mihal truck, but that's little stuff. That's little dinky videos, like put some points in it video and do some other stuff video. But we got some major stuff coming up. God bless you. I'll see you on the next Fixing Things with Pastor Bill. Oh, did I say it already? I can do all things through Christ who strengthens me. God bless.